Hello everyone and welcome to my bar. My name is Ansel Birch, the Indecisionist, and I will be your dungeon barkeep today. Now, I am certainly not an expert mixologist. I tend bar in a cave, and I was sent here by a wizard against my will. But I do have an adventurous spirit and a willingness to try anything once, like tending bar in a cave. So, what do you say? Since I don't have a menu or a call list I have to deal with, I can kind of do whatever I want, and I've got a bunch of stuff. So, what do you say? I will roll a set of gaming dice to choose all of the ingredients to go into a cocktail, and I'll even try it myself before I ever suggest that you drink it. What do you say? You want to give it a shot? All right, let's go ahead and see what we can do. Let's go ahead and start with a D4. Not to make it seem like I've planned this, but I do have a chart. I have a chart of all the stuff. Here we go. So this is a D4 to choose an essential. All right, that is a 1. So we're gonna roll on the liqueur or creme chart. So we'll do that after we pick a garnish. Garnishes are chosen by a D6. There we go, 6 bitters. All right, bitters. Bitters go well with a lot of things. They really elevate a cocktail in a lot of opportunities. So I'm excited to see what bitters will open up about our cocktail when we find out what liqueur or creme is going to be in it. So we'll roll a D8 to choose a creme or liqueur. Italicus. Ooh. All right, this is going to be classy. Italicus is a bergamot liqueur, and I love it. So Italicus and bitters. We might be making a discovery today, friends. We might just be making a discovery. But we do still need to pick a liquor to go in here. What's going to be the star of the show? That's a 1, so it's going to have to be something flavored. All right, so I've got a few flavored options. And I'm gonna choose the one that I think makes the most sense once we get over to the bar top cam. And just to assure you that I've got a chance of success here, let's go ahead and roll a D12 on the bar terms chart that I have here. This is a little pop quiz for me just to see if I can prove my worth to all of you. We've got a 4 there, dirty. All right, dirty usually means that you're gonna add some juice from whatever you're adding into your drink. So most frequently you see dirty used in martini talk, specifically regarding olive juice. I've said many times that I think you could also use it for some of the juice off of a maraschino cherry. I personally love using the syrup in maraschino cherries in cocktails whenever that's an opportunity arises. So yeah, I think you could use it for both things. And potentially other stuff where you're taking, like maybe pickled onions. If you're taking the onions out and you pour a little of that in. Again, I guess that would be martini. But yeah, lots of opportunities for sort of adding some more of the garnish liquid into it. Just to sort of up the amount of impact that the garnish is going to have on the drink, which can be significant, can be important. But anyway, so that's what dirty is. I don't think we're gonna have an opportunity to do anything dirty here with our cocktail today, but who knows? Maybe I'll find an opportunity. But we do need to name it. We gotta know what to call it if we're gonna yell at it when we're mad. So let's go ahead and roll a D20. All of the names you're seeing on the chart over here were suggested by people online just like you, and you can join them. Head on over to indecisionist.com/dungeonbarkeep, and you can suggest any fantasy or adventure themed cocktail names that you'd like. They'll go into a big list, and then they get chosen at random to be featured on the list for the show. So go ahead on over to indecisionist.com/dungeonbarkeep if you want to participate in that way. So let's go ahead and roll 20, Spellslinger. Spellslinger. All right, I think Spellslinger is promising, actually. And given that we've got some pretty promising ingredients, I'm excited to see where it goes. So let's head on over to the bar top cam and see what comes together. We're gonna make the Spellslinger in a mixing glass because that seems like the classy thing to do. Add a few D6 of cold damage to the mixing glass. Now our recipe calls for Italicus and bitters. and then some kind of flavored beverage, some kind of flavored liquor. So I'm making a big swing today, and we'll see if it pays off. So we're gonna start off with Italicus. We're gonna do a heavy pour of the Italicus. Now this is a liqueur. It's a 20% alcohol, so pretty light as those things go, but it's got a beautiful bergamot flavor to it. If you're not familiar with bergamot, it is the citrus note that ends up in Earl Grey and Lady Grey teas. It is a sort of bitter orange, and I am in love with it. Absolutely in love with it. As for our liquor, I'm gonna try something that's maybe a little bit off the reservation. We're gonna do an 1.5 ounces of Malibu Black. This is a dark rum, not a spiced rum, mind you, but a dark rum that has coconut flavoring in it, just like regular Malibu. But I am making a bet with myself here that the coconut of the Malibu and the bitter orange of the bergamot from the Italicus are going to make a nice pairing. It's going to be this sort of tropical excitement. So now we're just going to add a few dashes of bitters. I'm going to call that 4 dashes of bitters. And stir. All right, that's nice and chilled down. I can see the condensation beginning to form on the outside of the glass. So now we'll just strain it into a coupe. The color is gorgeous. I don't think the camera's really doing it justice. Okay, that's got some potential. The Malibu rum is bringing a bit of sweetness to it, as well as the coconut flavor. The bitterness of the Italicus is a little more aggressive than I was anticipating, a little bit more aggressive than I allowed for. So I feel as though you could invert the measures and do 2 ounces of the Malibu and 1.5 ounces of the Italicus and probably be further along. But I wonder if... And I'm not going to do this now, but I feel as though you might try like a float of Cointreau or a little bit of triple sec, just to sort of reinforce the orangeness of it. It's certainly there, but it's coming across with a lot more of the bitterness of the bergamot and less of the sort of citrus note that I was thinking would balance with the Malibu. I also wonder if you had orange bitters instead of the Peychaud bitters that I used, if that might turn out a little bit better. I think that might also have added a lot to this. But that said, I don't hate this by any stretch of the imagination. It's quite nice, and the more I drink it, the more I'm into it, honestly. I really like that bergamot note, even if it is a little bit too heavy-handed. And it does play really nicely with the coconut and the rum of the Malibu Black. And the bitters really are... It feels like it's rounding out the edges a little bit. Like you can sort of sense the warming note, the warming bitterness of the Peychaud bitters, sort of helping the two handshake a little bit. I think that's really what's going on there. That's the contribution that the bitters are making to the experience. All told, this is really It's nice if you like a more dry cocktail. If you like a Sazerac, if you like an old-fashioned, like a dry old-fashioned, I think that you would like this. I think this is in that ballpark. There's room for it to be scooched around. There's room for you to add fruit. There's room for a little bit of, like, a splash of orange, maybe a little bit of, maybe a maraschino cherry, just to add a little sweetness to it. You know, something like that. I could see that contributing to it. But honestly, I could see myself drinking this more than once on purpose. I could see this being something that I ordered for a night to seeing a show. You know, if I want to drink something slowly, enjoy the full flavor, tasting all of the notes. It's got a decent progression to it, so I think that this would be a good, you know, a good drink to bring into a show with you to sip over the course of, you know, 45 minutes or an hour, however long it is until your intermission, when you get another one. So yeah, I think the Spellslinger is a success, albeit one that it may not be for everybody. But where does it belong in a campaign? Well, Bridie Damish suggested this name, and Bridie, I think you've once again given me some absolute gold. I think that this is, true to its name, a spellcaster's drink. This is the sort of thing that you drink to remind you of the element of fire. And not just like in the like burn of your mouth, but also the heat of the, you know, equatorial regions where a lot of these ingredients come from. The blazing nearness of the sun. I feel as though when you've spent too much time in your wizard's tower, spent too much time studying your books and poring over ledgers, it can be easy to forget or to lose touch with those elemental cores. And I think it would be interesting to have a character go through a period where they were having trouble with that loss of connection to the elements and needing to find a way to bring that back for themselves. And I think that this is absolutely one that could re-educate or re-acquaint a talented, established mage with the element of fire. And equally, I could see some, you know, a more, you know, Merlin-y sort of elder wizard giving something like this to a young wizard who's just coming into the academy as a sort of crash course. All right, you want to work with fire, kiddo? Here you go. Drink this and tell me if you can't shoot fireballs. Yeah, I feel like this is that. This is the potion of reminding that wizards use, or sorcerers or warlocks, or, you know, whoever, the mages use in reacquainting themselves with the element of fire. So tell me, where would you put it in your campaign? Would you put it into your Magarium? Would you put it into the sorcery school? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things that YouTubers tell you to do. And coming up soon is TTRPG Pickup Con 25, coming up on August 19th through 21st. There's a load of great games already on the schedule for you to check out, so make sure that you're prepared to sign up the weekend of Gen Con on Saturday, because let me tell you, I'm going to be telling everybody at Gen Con about it, so make sure that you're online and ready to grab the seats you want, because I have a feeling they're going to go fast this time around. And until next time, drink adventurously.